And a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy here from Quant Strategic Singapore.sg. So it's the 27th of December on a Sunday. It's 2:20 p.m. And just some thoughts on the Straits Times Index as we approach the end of the year, coming up the final week and the final trading week of 2020. So some updates for you on the Straits Times Index, and essentially the index was pretty range bound between 2,800 to 2,900 points towards throughout the week. And just to start off our discussion with the Straits Times Index is a monthly chart of the Straits Times Index, as you can see. The short signal on the monthly long-term charts of the Straits Times Index is still valid from the 1st of October 2018, and we've come quite a bit of ways from that particular short signal on the 1st of October to hit 2,400 points at the pandemic low, and we have staged sort of a rebound to around the 2,813 level, of which the next target, if the STI continues this end of the year rally, the final target should be at about 3,108 points. And as you can see, the on the long-term chart on the Straits Times Index, the STI is struggling in the month of December to try to equal the highs that was made in November post the US election with a high made of around 2,918. So we want to see this close on the December close, whether it closes above 2813 for it to continue its rebound towards the 3,108 level. And zooming in on the medium-term charts, on the weekly charts of the Straits Times Index, we do have a long signal that was issued just prior to the US election, 7th of November 2020, along at 2693, which is still valid with a target of 3108. And as you can see, this is pretty bullish, having the price action stay above the SSSA line of the weekly charts. And if this particular line holds, which is around 2,800, we should be able to see price make and test its target of 3108. However, if the SSSA line fails to hold, we could test this pivot at 2748, giving way to a test of 2668. So on the weekly chart, though we have a nice rebound, it's not looking very bullish or positive as we close off the week, last trading week of the year. So we need to actually look at the shorter term charts to see what is exactly happening in the medium term of the Straits Times Index. So for a clearer view in the shorter term on the dailies chart, you can see that the STI has made a high over at around 2,118 points, made a second high at about 2,875, and we would like to see the Straits Times Index probably coming on Monday, the last trading week of the year, to try to bounce from 2842, which was the last close of the Straits Times Index, to try to reach its longer term target of 3108. However, if this does not happen, we might test this particular pivot here, which is very important, 2783 pivot, which has actually been supportive of this entire rally since the long signal was issued on the 4th of November. So we want to see this particular pivot 2783 hold. If this breaks down, then the next target would very much be at about 2,660 points, and a break of this would actually head for more downside targets, which you can actually find on our weekly charts that I've just discussed a little bit earlier. So what is very important right now is for the last couple of trading days of the Straits Times Index to watch this pivot at 2783. Finally, on the 4-hourly chart, which is the chart that I use to place my trades and to watch for short-term changes in trend, we do have a short signal that was issued on the 30th of November last month, targeting 2767. Although the price action has been range bound somewhere between 2,800 and this level of about 2,900 level, 900 points, the STI must actually break above this pivot at 2872 for it to resume its uptrend. All right. Otherwise, the short signal for this particular chart still targets this particular area below the SSSB line on the cloud. All right. So the short-term target is still 2767 on a short on the 4-hourly, unless the 4-hourly pivot is broken at 2872 on the upside. So as a recap, in the shorter term charts, there has been a short signal already issued more than 25 days ago, and the short signal is valid, and it is only invalidated if we break above this level at 2872. Otherwise, the next target that we're looking at to the downside is 2767 on the STI. So if you look at all the 4 charts, and as a technical analyst, if you're looking at charts from a chart point of view, the Straits Times Index on the monthly chart is still on a downtrend, and this is a rebound on a downtrend, which is currently capped at 2813. And the most optimistic target will still be at 3108. And even if the Straits Times Index hits this target at 3108, it is still on a long-term downtrend. And on a weekly chart, this particular price action above the cloud is pretty bullish, but it needs to develop a little bit of legs for it to continue to its upside target of 3108. It is still waiting, and the last week of the year is already just around the corner, another 5 days more, and we need to see whether it is still bullish to stay above the pivot at 2748. On a shorter term charts for the dailies, watch out for this pivot at 2783. Price must hold above this particular level to continue its upside and complete its rebound to 3108. Otherwise, on the 4-hourly basis, we already have a short signal at 2841 targeting 2767, which is around this particular level. And the only way to invalidate this short signal is to break above this pivot at 2872. So bottom line, what it means for the Straits Times Index, it is currently pretty much in a range between 2,800 to 2,900 points, and we really need to see a little bit of direction, especially when the Straits Times Index closes off this year 2020. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll have levels to watch for in the blog, and also click to subscribe, and as well as the alert bell so that you know when my next video is coming up. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great weekend.